Welcome to the 6th episode of the Outside Scoop. To my right, I have James. I'm really excited about this episode. So today we're going to be talking about our Western Conference predictions, about the Vegas over and unders, and a couple other things that's going on in the NBA. So let's get to it. Dennis Smith Jr. wants his own signature shoe. Do you think that'll happen?
I think it's possible though, because Under Armour's
Really?
small. Not right now, but maybe in the future, because Under Armour, a little smaller company. I know in basketball they got Steph Curry, and in football it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. But anything's possible for him, really. I think
usually signature shoes go to top 5, top 10 player. I don't think he'll ever be that good in his NBA career. I think he'll always be the tier below the signature shoe, like the players like Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, even though he has one overseas.
Yes.
I think he's on the tier right below the signature
you do
shoe.
see some guys that have signature shoes with, like, not big name companies.
Like
Under
Klay
Armour.
Thompson,
Yeah,
like
with Anta, and Deli with Peak. But
I definitely think he could get one overseas.
Yes.
But
anybody.
Nike, Under Armour, I'm not sure. Right. Karl Anthony Towns is supposedly going to get a contract extension. There's talks. You think that's a good decision for the T-Wolves?
I think it is, because with Jimmy Butler free agent next year, is that correct?
Yeah.
You don't really know about him, and Karl Anthony Towns, I think that's the player you want to build around, because if Jimmy Butler leaves next summer to go maybe join an Eastern Conference team, you can maximize Andrew Wiggins' full potential, because with Jimmy Butler gone, and Cat and Wiggins together. Wiggins, I believe, averaged 24 points in his most points that he averaged in 1 year, to last year where he averaged only 16.
Because of
Jimmy Butler, yeah. So I think giving Cat an extension and building around Cat and Andrew Wiggins is a good thing that the Wolves should do.
I disagree. I think the Wolves are in a terrible position, because Andrew Wiggins has virtually been the same player since he entered the league. He's kind of been like a slightly worse version of Chris Middleton. So that's good for your third option, right? But he said he wants to be the second option. He's not good enough on a championship team to be a second option. Karl Anthony Towns, he has to improve his defense, and he has to play less video games. But I think he's good enough for a second option. But Jimmy Butler's not good enough as a first option. So if you re-sign Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, that's good, and you have to let go of Jimmy Butler, but you have to get a star, because those three won't cut it. They won't get you far enough.
Yeah, and also because right now the Wolves, I do agree how the Wolves are in a bad position right now, but maybe if Wiggins can develop more into a better player in the future, that's possible.
But it doesn't look like he will, because he's been the same player since he.
Because the Wolves are in a bad position, because they're the A seed. They don't really have much cap space to do anything in free agency, but when Jimmy Butler leaves, that will open up more cap space for possibly a star to come, or trading Jimmy Butler for a draft pick or draft considerations that could help them get another young player to keep building up to the future.
Yeah, if I were the Timberwolves, I'd find a way to trade Jimmy Butler and a couple picks for Devin Booker. So I think he might get you over the top.
Yeah.
Luol Deng and Lakers agree on a buyout, so now they have 2 max contract slots for next year. What do you think about that?
So the Lakers are they're in a good position, but it's always trying to get through the Warriors. That's obviously
right.
But with LeBron, that LeBron just attracts players, as we have seen in the past, and with the Lakers, young guys are now Kuzma, Hart, and Ball. Maybe even if one of those guys turns into a star, then right there you have 2, probably 3 stars in the future with the max contract.
I love how they didn't rush and just sign somebody because there were no stars out there. How they waited for another year, because now they're set up good. If they just signed like DeMarcus Cousins to a ridiculous deal, they wouldn't be set up good for next year.
Yeah, and you don't really know what DeMarcus Cousins is going to bring to the table, because you wait out this year. He won't be back probably until the middle of the season. You wait to see what he does with the Warriors, and then the Warriors, it's pretty much impossible for them to re-sign him with, unless, because Thompson's a free agent this summer, unless Thompson leaves, and then he takes that money, and I doubt Thompson will leave, so then it pretty much just DeMarcus Cousins is gone because you can't use that mid-level exception money on him again.
Right.
So he's pretty much gone, and he obviously won't accept that.
Oh no,
5.3
definitely.
million.
Yeah,
He won't
no.
accept a mid-level exception again. That's not happening.
All right. So Rockets, they traded Ryan Anderson, DeAnthony Melton for Marquise Chris and Brandon Knight. What did you think about that?
So, whatever the Rockets are doing right now, I mean, I don't necessarily like it because number one, they lose Ariza in free agency, and he was a key piece to their team last year. Because with Harden, I mean, pretty much all you need 3-point shooting.
3D, pretty much.
Yeah, you need 3-point shooting and you need defenders. I like though, because Melton was he was the first round draft second rounder. Yeah, so I mean from what I've heard on him, he's a good defender and a young player though that the Suns.
He had a good summer league too.
Yes, and with Chris,
Marquise Chris.
yeah, he's a good defensive player. I mean, not really much of a
Fouls
scoring
too.
option. And Knight, I've always really liked him with Milwaukee
Yeah.
too. I mean, he's just a pure scorer, but I know he's coming off a knee injury.
And he's way overpaid.
Yes, but going back to like Ryan Anderson, I don't really like how the Rockets broke up their core of players and then adding Carmelo Anthony. I mean, I'm just not a big Carmelo fan just because
I love the signing personally.
because he just can't. I don't really like that signing just because of his defensive liability and how Houston really showed that they were a defensive team last year.
Personally, I love to trade for the Rockets, not so much for the Suns. Okay, you might not remember this, but remember I was telling you, and I believe it was Drew, like 2 weeks before the NBA draft, that the Bucks should draft DeAnthony Melton.
Yeah,
At the time, he was projected to go like 15-25, somewhere around there. That was 2 weeks before the draft. I said we should get DeAnthony Melton. He started falling a lot, so obviously we didn't get him. But I think he has a potential to be a very quality starting point guard in this league.
Yeah.
He had an amazing summer league, and not only that, he has so much potential because he got held out for the FBI investigation. You don't know his true potential. So I think it was a great decision for Rockets because although they have to get rid of DeAnthony Melton, they also get rid of Ryan Anderson. And to get more backup help in Marquise.
Yeah, I didn't really see much on Melton just because of USC's games always being like late at night. I didn't really see much on him, but I knew that he did have some potential from what I've seen. Being a first round pick, that just shows that you have potential. Being a possible first round pick, even though he went in the second round. Yeah.
So now let's get to the real part of today's episode. We're going to be discussing the over and unders for Vegas's bets, Western Conference. We're going to start at the first seed. We'll make our way to the 15th seed. First seed are the Warriors at 62.5 wins, over under.
I honestly say under because I don't really I mean there's just they have so many star guys and really I don't know. I mean it's at some point it's just gonna become they just can't really win as many games as you would like them to because they're not going to win 70 games. I mean, they could, but they're not going to try to go for that. They're going to rest their players and save it up for their championship run.
I think it's going to be under 2. I don't trust Steph's ankle. Klay Thompson is super overrated because if you put Robert Covington instead of Klay Thompson, I think get like 80% of Klay Thompson. He's just a really good 3-and-D player. You can be fine without Klay Thompson. There are a bunch of better teams this year. If you remember last year, right before the All-Star break, they're starting to slip. They're losing games to bad teams.
Yes.
I think that can happen to them again, especially with the talent being better this year. So I have them under. You have them under too?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I have them at 59 wins, by the way. Rockets at the second seed, 54.5, over under.
I am going under with that just because I don't really like the addition of Carmelo Anthony. Defense is, even though everybody thinks the NBA it's an offensive league, and nobody really knows that you would rather watch. People are saying, we'd rather watch college basketball because they play defense.
Right.
The offense in the NBA is just so good that the defense is just like, it's like people don't realize like how much these guys actually work on their defense. It's just the offense is so good it overtakes the defense. Good offense is better than good defense.
Right.
And that's what the Rockets have shown, but defensively, kind of taking away from that last point. I don't know how strong they're going to be defensively with like a matchup with the Warriors, you have 5 guys who are incredibly good offensively, and then you have one Carmelo Anthony. If he starts, he's a total liability on defense, and he's not a very strong rebounder. And even last year, he showed that on open field goals, he shot one of the lowest percentages in the league.
Yeah, I have them over, but trust me, I'm not as high as everybody else is on the Rockets. I have them as a 3rd seed. I have them at 55 and 27. I think Chris Paul's a year older. He's gonna regress. Problem with the Rockets for me mainly is now most of their players are either really good on offense or defense. Last year they had players that are good on offense and defense, like Luka Mbah-a-Moute, Trevor Ariza.
Yeah, they lost him.
Now they have a lot of one-dimensional players. So either your defense is going to take a step back or your offense is going to take a step back. So,
I have them as a 4 seed.
Really?
Yeah, I have the Thunder as a 2 seed, Lakers Lakers as the 3 seed.
All right, so we're about to talk about the Thunder now. 3rd seed, they have the Thunder at 50.5 wins.
I'm going back to Carmelo Anthony. With last year, I think he kind of ruined Thunder's potential with Paul George and Russell Westbrook, and also with Andre Roberson coming back. He's a key defensive piece to that team, and that he will also. I think he could. Not like his offense. His offense will stay the same, but his defense, he's one of the best defensive players in the league when he is in there, and that'll help the Thunder a lot.
I disagree. I think the Thunder is going to be under. I have them at the 5th seed because a lot of people have agreed with their point that getting rid of Carmelo is addition by subtraction. Completely disagree. I think Carmelo has been so overrated that now he's underrated. I think he can still be a solid player, average 15 points a game, help you on the bench, score on the bench, kind of like Michael Beasley or Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I think they got worse by getting rid of Carmelo. I'm probably the biggest Russell Westbrook hater in the world. I don't trust a team where Russell Westbrook is on, so I have them as a 5th seed. I just don't think they're going to be better this year. I really don't.
The thing I do like about Russell Westbrook is I believe last year he was in the top 3 in the league and giving his teammates wide open field goal attempts, and that if Paul George, if he can convert on those, that's just going to make them such a better team. I'm losing who else they have. Just
Steven Adams, Andre Roberson.
Who's their other starter? Corey Brewer, but was he a free agent?
Yeah, I think he went to the Rockets, I think.
Yeah. And
about now.
So then Jeremy Grant, I know they re-signed. But,
right.
So really, right there, they're only they have Alex Abrinas too. So I mean, they do have a few shooters that Westbrook can find too. So they do have a few shooters.
I don't think they have enough bench talent though to support it. Lakers at 48.5 wins at the 4th seed. What do you think about that? Over under?
I say under. I know we all know LeBron's gonna be good. He's gonna lead the Lakers to the playoffs, but I don't really know how good. And good in the end they'll be maybe. Kind of lost for words on that. I know they have a lot of young talent, and it's just seeing if that young talent can improve from last year and lead them to more wins, because they had 37 wins last year, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere.
So you think adding LeBron will give you, and adding like Rondo, McGee, a few other pieces will give you 11 more wins. I mean I
think it'll give you 20 more wins, but I'll get into my portion.
Yeah, that seems about right. I could say 48, 49, 50 wins seems about right for the Lakers.
I think it's going to be way over. I have them at 57 wins in the 2nd seed. Look, if they didn't have any free agents, they're going to be a 500 ball club this year, right? Maybe a little under, let's say 40 and 42.
Yeah.
They would have at least won 5 more games this year, so probably 42 and 42 actually. Adding LeBron, I think, gives you 8 more wins easily. So that's 50 and 42.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Rondo, Stevenson, McGee, I think those were a lot of underrated signings.
Yeah. Because
now their bench it used to be depleted, but now they have a very solid bench. So.
Yeah, I think I might have to change my prediction over because I can see them. LeBron, I don't know when the last time he didn't have a 50-win team. And
right.
I think even when the Lakers being in a very hard Western Conference, I think they'll be over 50 wins.
So people have told us they want us to make this shorter. So we'll try go a little bit faster through these last ones. Jazz 48.5 wins are also tied at the 4th seed. What do you think about that?
48.5. I think they're gonna be under if the Lakers are gonna be over that and around 52 wins. I think the Jazz will be a little under. I mean, we know Mitchell will probably lead their team. Probably won't be an all-star because the West is so stacked, but and the Jazz also have some pretty solid pieces around them, like Rudy Gobert and Joe Ingles. And I know Grayson Allen being drafted this year. But I think it's just going to be under. With the stacked Western Conference, I really don't know how many wins they can get. They're for sure a playoff team, probably in the top 7 seeds. But I don't know. It's going to be hard for them to have a season like they did last year.
Yeah, I agree. I have them as 7 seed under. They're basically the same team. Their core just got a year older. Grayson Allen, as much as I love him, he's not going to develop and he's not going to help in the NBA.
Yeah,
because his game is made for the college.
A lot of Duke players.
Although he did have a great combines, but you can take that for what it's worth. Nuggets, they have them at 6 seed, 47.5 wins over under.
I'm gonna go over on that. I really like the Nuggets, just for some reason. I really like Nikola Jokic. It seems like whenever I'm watching a Nuggets game, it seems like he always just shows out either with a triple double or getting more rebounds than you really know what to do. And I think he's their best player, obviously. But then Gary Harris, Jamal Murray, I really like them. Adding Isaiah Thomas for like a veteran's minimum deal. That there's no downside to that. There's only upside because if he can do anything to average like 15 to 17 points a game, that's only going to help your team, even if he's a liability on defense. Because Jamal Murray and Gary Harris are one of the best defensive guards in the league.
I agree. I have them at over 2. I actually have them as the 4th seed. I have them at 51 wins. I really like teams that have a lot of overall talent. Again, like you mentioned, Millsap, Jokic, Harris, Murray. They just have so much more talent than the rest of the league.
Yeah,
overall talent.
They got Will Barton still and Malik Beasley, who are also 2 very good guards as well.
I like them better than the Thunder because the Thunder have 2 elite players, while the Nuggets have more overall talent.
Yeah, we also forgot about Michael Porter Jr. That was a really good draft pick.
Very good.
They also have Paul Millsap, who we kind of forgot about, even though he's on a huge contract. I mean, he was an all-star in the East. I mean, he's only going to help your team. He probably averages around 13 to 15 points a game, kind of like an Al Horford a little bit.
Yeah, he's a very quiet piece, but like a very
needed it kind of reminds me of Al Horford a little bit. He's pretty solid defensively.
Pelicans 7 seed, 45.5 wins over under.
I'm going to go under on that one. As we've seen Anthony Davis has led his team to the playoffs one time, even though last year he swept the Blazers pretty much by himself and Drew Holiday. But I don't know, with the stacked Western Conference and the younger teams like the Suns, the Kings, the Grizzlies, and the Mavs all improving, there's gonna come I think a few more losses than they're 45 wins.
I agree. I have them at under. I don't even have them making the playoffs because, again, I prefer teams with more overall talent. They pretty much have Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday, and Julius Randle. I mean,
the Julius Randle. That's a good.
Look, they got a lot of good free agent signings this year. Also with Alfred Payton, they also have Nikola Mirotic, but I don't think they have enough to get it done. Their small forward is horrible. I think their starting small forward is Etuan Moore.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Etuan Moore can shoot the ball.
Your backup shooting guard is Ian Clark. I mean, your backups are horrible. Their backups are horrible.
It's just their depth may struggle down later parts of the season.
When you get to the second unit, you're going to be down by 10 points when Anthony Davis.
You always know Anthony Davis can carry that team, though.
All right, 8 seed Timberwolves, 44.5 wins, over under.
I am going to say I honestly think 44 or 45 wins is probably the max for the Timberwolves.
Wow.
Well, how many wins did they have last year? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'd say somewhere around 45, most likely.
Yeah, and I know because they were the 8 seed last year. They had to play the Nuggets in that last really exciting game to get into the playoffs.
Right.
Especially with you don't know how Jimmy Butler's going to play. You don't know if he will be traded.
He won't.
And
He'll at least play out the contract, knowing Jimmy.
But yeah, and I'm assuming Andrew Wiggins will probably have the same season, maybe a little bit better than he did last year. Karl Anthony Towns, probably maybe getting a contract extension. He might have. We don't really know what he's gonna do, and we'll see how Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins work together, and how those three main pieces work together to have a good season.
I have them at over. I have them at 47 wins, 6 seed. I think they have more. They have a lot of overall talent. Wiggins, Cat, Jimmy Butler. I like it.
Something I don't like though that the Timberwolves did this offseason was re-signing Derrick Rose. So
I love that.
They have Jeff Teague, their point guard depth chart. Jeff Teague, Derrick Rose, Tyus Jones. What do they want to do with Tyus Jones? They drafted him.
Trade him. He's a very solid piece.
Yeah, I know, but you're holding him back by signing Derrick Rose, and you really have no idea what Derrick Rose is going to do.
Derrick Rose was amazing in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't know if he can come out if he's going to be injury free again. You have no idea.
I'll tell you what I didn't like. I didn't like how they didn't re-sign Jamal Crawford. He helped them a lot last year, but they didn't re-sign it. At the 9th seed, they have the Spurs at 43.5 wins, over under.
I'm going over. Spurs seems like every year their win total is projected to be low, but they always prove everybody wrong. I mean, Popovich just right there is going to give you some wins. And they have DeJounte Murray. He's a very good defensive point guard. They have Bryn Forbes. He's just a playmaker that was an undrafted free agent out of Michigan State. They have, and then with the addition of DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl, and they have good young players and young players who are solid and solid defensively, and that's what kind of the Spurs motto is. And then one star player at DeMar DeRozan. I think they're good enough to probably be a 6, 7, or 8 seed next year.
I have them at over. I have them at an 8 seed, just out of respect to Pop. They're basically the same team. They just added DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl. They got what's his name? Manu Ginobili retired.
Yeah, but they added Lonnie Walker in the draft.
Do you think Lonnie Walker will help him to jump? I don't think he will.
Watching him, I like him just because of his athleticism and ability to shoot the ball. He's a 35% three-point shooter in college. I honestly really do like Lonnie Walker. That's who I wanted the Bucks to draft, but
I was fine with Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah, DiVincenzo.
Because he'll help right out the gate. Because he can shoot, play defense, which I like. Lonnie Walker, I think he'll take a while to help the Spurs. 10 seed Blazers, 41.5 wins, over under.
I say over, but just by maybe like 1 or 2 wins. I said they missed the playoffs. They added like Nick Stauskas, and Seth Curry this offseason. I mean, those signings, I don't really know what's the point of those. Maybe to bring in. It's just I mean, they're not necessarily because they signed them for not that much money, but they're signings.
They're not necessary. They're not bad, but they're not necessary.
And that's holding back. Those signings are holding back young players such as Wade Baldwin, but and they have some decent young talent like Wade Baldwin and Zach Collins. But other than that, I don't really know where they're going. With Damian Lillard and DJ McCollum, you know what they're going to do every year.
Right.
They're both very solid players that are. Lillard will be an all-star. McCollum will probably be pretty close to being one, but I have them missing the playoffs with the stacked West.
Same. I have them slightly over. I have them at 42 and 40. I have them missing the playoffs too. I actually think CJ McCollum will be traded along with a couple of their other bad contracts for Kevin Love.
Yeah, like Myers Leonard.
Al-Farouq Aminu. Some of those bad contracts. They got rid of Ed Davis, which I didn't like.
He went to the Nets, didn't he?
Right. And the players of the Blazers didn't like that he got traded. Yeah, and they wanted him back.
I liked one of their draft picks, and that was the draft pick of Gary Trent Jr.
Oh,
he's a good 3-and-D player. Watching him in the NCAA tournament, but on Fari Simmons, like
horrible draft pick.
How can you tell how good that guy is just for playing against high school talent? I mean, I know he played in and played AAU and probably in the EYBL, but you can't really tell how because he's playing against guys who will be in the NBA in 2 or 3 years now, who are guys who are in the NBA right now. He obviously won't make an immediate impact with the guard depth they have, but he needs to add more weight too.
Right.
He's really skinny.
Since these are like the last seeds, we'll try to go over them really quickly. they don't deserve attention because they're bad. Clippers, 35.5 wins, 11 seed over under.
Under. They pretty much lost all their pieces. They have Lou Williams, right?
Tobias Harris, which I love.
Tobias.
I love
really
Tobias
like
Harris.
Tobias Harris. Ever since he was with the Bucks. But I'm gonna go under with that. And who were their? Did they have any draft picks? I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
Because they traded Bryce Johnson as well to Detroit in the Blake Griffin trade.
I have them at under. I have them at 26 wins. Their only talent is Lou Williams and Tobias Harris. I have Tobias Harris maybe winning Most Improved Player of the Year this year, along with Tony Snell. Those are my two front runners. So I have them at under. Mavericks 34.5 wins, over under.
I'm going to say over for that, just by a few wins. They have Dennis Smith Jr. and DeAndre Jordan. I like the draft pick of Luka Doncic. I think he will be a very good player in the NBA. Their young talent is pretty solid, and they're obviously not going to be a playoff team right now for the next few years. But adding some players to trying to be competitive is always a good sign.
I have them at over. I think they're a very underrated team. Obviously, they're not going to make the playoffs. I have them at 35 wins. I think they have a lot of overall talent. Harrison Barnes, Dennis Smith Jr., Luka Doncic, DeAndre Jordan. I think they have so many players that can average 20 points a game that they can. They're the type of team that if a team just goes in there thinking it's an easy win, like the Warriors or the Lakers, they might get upset because they have the mentality of winning.
Yeah, they also have Wesley Matthews as well, and they drafted Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was it.
They had an amazing draft.
And Kostas Antetokounmpo, yeah.
Ray Spalding. His last name's Spalding.
Yeah, he played at Louisville. He was good.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're that type of team that you go in, you think it's an easy win, and then they upset you.
Yeah, their roster is pretty solid.
Right.
It's just not a playoff team in the West.
13 seed Grizzlies, 33.5 wins over.
I am going to say over on that. I'm actually going to say around like 41, 42 wins for that team.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the draft pick of Jaren Jackson. He showed out in summer league. With Gasol will be healthy next year, even though he's kind of old. And Conley, he will be healthy. He's always maybe looking for his first All-Star appearance next year. And they also added Javon Carter. I loved him in college, and I almost think that they could be like a 9 or 10 seed next year and almost compete for the playoffs. Yeah, kind of like the Clippers did last year. I think they're gonna be one of the most surprising teams in the West. Them and the Suns, I think, are gonna be one of the most surprising teams.
I have them at under. I have them at 32 wins. They don't have enough talent. Mike Conley is a year older. I don't know how much he has left in the tank. Marc Gasol is pretty old now. Again, I don't think he'll be very productive. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a bust because he has no unique skill set from any other player in the NBA.
He can shoot, though, and he can shoot. He showed that in summer league, and he can play
Thon
defense.
Maker can shoot. I mean,
but
he's not reliable. Like some people, like Kevin Love is a reliable 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr. has hints of shooting.
Mm-hmm. The thing I hate about their offseason, though, was the signing of Kyle Anderson.
Oh, horrible.
I mean,
4 year, 30.
Yeah, there's no reason for the Spurs to match that. I mean, I don't understand what that signing was about, but hopefully Dylan Brooks can improve, and hopefully one day he will be the guy there. Him and Jaren Jackson will be the guy in Memphis.
I love the Javon Carter pick too.
But we'll see how he does after he broke his right thumb, I believe.
Oh really?
Yeah, he broke his right thumb
I didn't know
in
that.
a freak basketball accident. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Suns at 29.5 wins, 14th seed. What'd you think about that?
I say it's gonna be a few wins over. They have some really good young talent with Booker, Ayton, Josh Jackson. Trading away Marquise Chris I think
you're right. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, he had a freak injury on his thumb.
Yes. The addition of Trevor Ariza, I think, was a good 1-year signing for them, just to help that young core mature. Also, Ryan Anderson, pretty good addition as well, just 3-point shooting. I mean, every team can use that 3-and-D defender like Ariza and Anderson. Mikal Bridges in the draft, great. I think he's really good. And also T.J. Warren. Just for some reason, he averaged around 20 points per game next year. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the league.
I think people
He
forget
could
how
win most-
young he is. He's only 24.
Yeah,
I feel like he's been in the NBA for so long.
he could go it next year and win Most Improved Player.
No, he can't.
He
He had too good of a season last year. Plus, they have too much talent. You know, they
Yeah.
got spread around.
And then they got a few. They got a few players who are like Dragan Bendita is a total bust draft pick. Like he can't shoot the ball. He can't rebound the ball. He can't play defense very well. He's kind of just a liability pretty much everywhere.
I have them over. I have them at 30 wins. I think they're a team that's getting very overhyped. I think they're a couple years away. Not a big fan of DeAndre Ayton. I think he's going to be somewhere between DeAndre Jordan, Clint Capella.
Yeah, they had a good draft though. I think.
Not as a first overall pick. That's good for a 5th overall pick. First overall pick shouldn't turn into like a DeAndre Jordan.
Who do you think should have been the first overall pick then?
I think it should have been Marvin Bagley. He's
Really?
made for the modern NBA. He can shoot, space the floor. He can dribble.
I saw Ayton live. I saw Ayton in a game this year in Arizona State versus Arizona game, and Ayton just every time you give him the ball. I know this is against college talent. He could just dominate, and he could also shoot the mid range too, which we showed.
Because he's so much stronger than people. I mean, he's made for like the '90s game.
There's always need for a big guy who can rebound the ball, and he can. We've shown that guys can develop their shot somewhat in the NBA, and he can be able to step out on the 3-point line and grab rebound.
I think he'll be somewhere on DeAndre Jordan, Clint Capella. All right, so last one we're talking about Kings 25.5 wins over under.
Under.
Really, I did too.
Yeah, I mean, the Kings.
Horrible. Let's cut it.
Okay, their best player is De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, them at 18.
They have young talent though. Like I really like
young. What talent do they have?
Buddy Hield. They got Buddy Hield. They have the bad teams have young talent. Like the Kings, Suns, Grizzlies.
No, the Kings are the only bad team that doesn't have good talent, like young talent.
They have Bogdanovich. He won the Rising Stars game MVP.
They have De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley. That's all they have.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty much. I mean, sure they have other talent, but not good enough to become.
Here, let me just see their roster. I think it.
They're like their starting centers like Kostas Koufos. Or
He'll probably be traded.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah, Cauley-Stein. Justin Jackson, who I
like Justin Jackson.
I'm not really a big fan of him.
I saw him a lot playing North Carolina.
Labissiere, he's all right.
I like him.
They signed Valencia this offseason.
Oh, that was horrible.
Yeah, I don't like him either. I don't like that signing.
Okay, if somebody in the Kings is watching this right now.
They also signed Yogi Ferrell as well, I believe. Yeah.
Someone in the Kings is watching this right now. Please, contact me. I'll go in your front office. I'll get your team right, okay? I'll make the right picks. I'll make the right trades. I promise you. I'll do better than whoever your GM is right now.
Yeah,
Vlade Divac. Bro, cut it, honestly.
They're about to go to Las Vegas. Be ready.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Just sign me, okay? I will fix your team.
Yeah.
I guarantee a championship by 2022.
They traded for Deontay Davis as well.
That was a great trade.
And, yeah, he's all right.
Washed up Garrett Temple for Deontay Davis and Ben McLemore.
And they've got Yogi. They also signed Yogi Ferrell. That was kind of weird. Where was he supposed to go originally? Brooklyn, I thought. Where he was supposed to originally go, and then they signed him. So.
Hey, this is all I know. Kings, you signed me to your front office. Championship guaranteed within 5 years. I'm telling you, man. All right, so that'll do it for the 6th episode. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share it with whoever. Thanks for 50 subscribers, and